Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering what is Trump's best path to victory in 2024. Now, a lot of videos are out there on this, so don't be surprised if I may accidentally share similarities with other people's videos. There are a lot of videos out there like this from every election prediction YouTuber ever, so do not be surprised if yeah, don't be surprised if they overlap. But anyways, Donald Trump is in a surprisingly good position right now, um, than he was than he was a few months ago against Joe Biden. We take a look at some swing state polling. Trump is up by 7 in Georgia by this is all according to Bloomberg. We take a look at the polling averages. Trump is up by 5 in the state of Georgia, a state he faces severe legal troubles in. He's up. Let's take a look at Pennsylvania. He's up by 1.5 in a state that voted for Joe by almost the inverse. Um, in Wisconsin, a state that he also lost, Biden is up by 0.7, but also remember the polls were way off in the other direction, and this also does include two polls. This also does include one Democrat-leaning pollster in Marquette Law. So this does not include Emerson. It includes Emerson and Bloomberg, which I'd be more inclined to believe Emerson was more accurate in 2020. You also have other polls, like Emerson showing Trump up by 2 back in the start of October, etc., etc. Basically, what I'm getting at here is Trump was never even this close in Wisconsin. He never led in Pennsylvania. Nevada, which is always off in Nevada is always off in the Republican direction, so I'm not really surprised. Arizona, a state that he lost, and the state that is widely seen as trending Democrat, he's up by 3. So what I'm getting at here is it's not looking, the greatest for Joe, and Joe's approval rating on individual issues is in the gutter. We take a look at, like Biden's job approval. His overall job approval is minus 14. On foreign policy, it's minus 19. On inflation, it's minus 29. On crime, it's minus 21. On immigration, it's minus 29. So, basically, and also the only issue, and even it's negative 11 on Ukraine. And the overall direction of the country is minus 41. All of those spell near disaster for Joe, actually. Trump was in a similar position back in 2020, going into the election. It wasn't even this bad. It was about wrong direction plus 20, about wrong direction plus 30, 29. So, what are the safe states? The states that we're going to mark off the map. Most states in the Electoral College. This is going to be kind of a video for beginners. For those of you who don't know. So if you're an expert, I will mark a timestamp that you should skip to actually get to the analysis. Because there are a lot of people who watch my videos who don't understand anything about the Electoral College. Remember, most of the states on the Electoral College tend to favor one party consistently. Most states are either safe Republican or safe Democrat, with only a handful of them being slightly competitive or competitive. The states we can mark off in the safe Republican category, which are states that Donald Trump will almost certainly win without any issues, include North Dakota, both of the Dakotas, most of the Great Plains in states like Wyoming, Utah, Idaho, and Montana, Nebraska, excluding the 2nd Congressional District, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, and Alaska. The states that will be safe for Joe Biden include Washington, Oregon, and California, Hawaii, Illinois, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, the District of Columbia, home to Washington, D.C., Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Vermont, New York, and Maine's 1st Congressional District. And for the sake of, electoral trends and polling, we'll put Colorado in that as well. So Biden starts off with a significant advantage over Trump, 191 to 125. However, with the states that are left on the map, we'll go over them. So the states that are leaning Democrat, that are probably going to go to Biden, but could be competitive, if Trump has a good enough night or a bad enough night. So the states that would be, fairly likely to go blue, but not fully: Minnesota, New Hampshire, Maine at large, New Mexico, and Virginia. Those states, that's plus 34 for Joe Biden. That gets him to 225. The likely Republican states would be Iowa, and Nebraska's second. Whoops. Iowa, Ohio, Florida, and Texas. So Trump gains an extra 93 electoral votes from that. We'll also include Maine's second district in that. So these states that are left, these states that are highlighted in yellow, these are the states that will decide 2024. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada. These states will be. These are the crucial dominoes that will fall and decide the election next year. Mind you, in 2020, Biden won the popular vote. We take a look at the popular vote polling. Biden won the popular vote last time by 4.5, and only won by less than 40,000 votes across 3 states: Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia. That is extraordinarily close. Less than 50,000, actually, but whatever. It was extraordinarily close, and that is an environment where Biden got record turnout in urban areas, in some historically Republican suburbs like Maricopa County, places like the Atlanta suburbs, even like the Milwaukee suburbs had some shifts to the left. It was, and mind you, Trump still came very close to having a statistical electoral college tie. So we're in interesting times. Trump currently leads the popular vote on RCP by 1.1, and I believe he also leads fairly similar in 538. We take a look at what it was on this day, on this day in the race compared to 2020. So November 12th, 2019, Biden led this popular vote by 10.2. And also, Clinton led it by 4. So already, this spells disaster for Joe. Well, it's not disaster yet because, polls were off in favor of the Democrats. Polls were off in favor of the Republicans in 2022, but that's a whole different debacle, and that didn't really involve Trump, so we'll ignore that for the sake of, it was an off-year election. We take a look at, some polls that, Trump never led, like, for example, Economist YouGov, a poll that Trump never even came close to tying Biden in. He is tying Biden in Economist YouGov, a poll that almost certainly favored Joe. The Messenger and Harris X never really favored Trump either. CBS News and CNN also never favored Trump, but he appears to be polling very well. So my point is Joe only won all of these states by less than 5 in an environment where he won the national popular vote by almost 5. That spells trouble because because a lot of the Democrat votes are consolidated in California, New York, Illinois, Washington, Maryland, New Jersey, Massachusetts. Yeah, that's most of the Democrat votes are in those places. Places like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, Baltimore, the DC suburbs, Trenton, Boston, you get it. We're going to start off with out of all of these states, there's only really one leaning one, and that would be North Carolina. Trump carried the state by 3 in 2016 and 1.5 in 2020. Polling there suggests he's probably in good shape to win it. And also, the polls in North Carolina just suck in general. There were polls there that had Biden up by 4, and he never really even came. He didn't win it at all by 4. North Carolina is kind of like, the Democrat version of Michigan, where, or Minnesota, where they consistently target it and think it's going to flip, but it still votes R. That's kind of what it is. Trump is leading polls there by, 4 to 5 points. I think Trump wins it by about 4. So basically, Trump's best path to victory has to have North Carolina. Another state that we could probably mark off is Michigan. Trump does not need Michigan to win the 2024 election. Considering, that is the most Democratic leaning of all of these states, and North Carolina is the most Republican leaning. Now, we're in an interesting position. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada. Well, Trump's path to victory has to include Wisconsin. And I say that because, well, Trump needs to win Wisconsin. If he doesn't win Wisconsin, his path to victory immediately becomes narrow. Because if he doesn't win Wisconsin, he needs Pennsylvania, he needs Georgia, he needs to sweep every state on the map. He needs to sweep Pennsylvania and Georgia, and that would barely get him across. So already Trump is in a sticky situation without Wisconsin. He needs Wisconsin. This then leads him, he would need to win a Sun Belt state. Because right now, Biden looks like he might be favored in Pennsylvania. But honestly, I don't see a path. Honestly, I think Trump needs Pennsylvania too. So while Biden may be narrowly favored there, I still think Trump has to win with Pennsylvania. This then leaves him with Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia. I think this is his best path to victory right here. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. Wisconsin is a must-win. It's Wisconsin and Georgia. These three should be the Trump campaign's top priority if they want to win in 2024. They have the most favorable demography out of all of these states, or out of all the other states left. Arizona is rapidly becoming more diverse and more Hispanic and more Democratic by the day as Californians move into the state, who tend to vote, who are, fairly liberal. The state's legal marijuana is probably attracting a lot of them. That also being said, Nevada is, also fairly diverse. A lot of Hispanic voters, a lot of Pacific Islander voters in the Vegas area, which does hurt Trump, although Vegas is a red swinging metro area. One of the few in the country that are swinging red. So, we're all right. So, yeah, basically, Arizona and Nevada are probably not seen as favorable to Trump at the moment. Nevada is red swinging, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Whereas Wisconsin is one of the least diverse states in the country. The demography in Wisconsin helps Donald Trump. We take a look at, like if we look at some exit polls in 2020 in the state, let's take a look at, white people in Wisconsin are 86% of the electorate. Donald Trump carried the white vote by only 6 points. That means that Trump's basically his support base came among whites. More specifically, non-college educated whites, which was basically that's kind of like his voting group across most of America. That's how he's winning Ohio and Iowa by large margins. Trump did very well among middle-class voters in Wisconsin. However, he did slip just a little bit with white working-class voters, which was able to deliver Joe the victory. Now, mind you, Wisconsin is 86% white. Whereas, we'll compare that to Arizona if they have Arizona exit polls. I don't know if they do. Yes, they do. Whites in Arizona were 74% of the electorate. We take a look at other states. Let's look at Georgia. We'll take a look at Georgia if they have exit polls. I don't know if they do. Yes, they do. I'm looking at Wikipedia, by the way, if you don't know, for exit polls. Whites are 61% of the electorate in Georgia. You get my point. Wisconsin is the most favorable state demographically for Republicans on the map. And probably so is Pennsylvania. There are a lot of white voters in Wisconsin, and in particular, non-college educated white voters, and they outnumber the college-educated liberal voters in the cities. Pennsylvania is the same way. Pennsylvania is another one of the least diverse states in the country. Pennsylvania Pennsylvania, white people are 81% of the electorate. So Republicans need to win these two plus Georgia. Basically, what I may sound like I'm blabbering, but here's the point: Trump needs to win the Rust Belt. And again, honestly, I think an even better path to victory would be focusing on Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Because if you win Michigan, you can ignore Georgia. You don't need Georgia. You can win, as long as you hold North Carolina, you can win with, and you just need these three as long as you hold North Carolina. This is how you win. You win by focusing on the Rust Belt, and the best path to victory for Donald Trump is the states of Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Trump's best path to victory. I'm not really doing. This is not the margins I think they'll vote by. This is just kind of. I just needed to highlight it. Basically, if Trump wins, I think the map is going to look like this. Similar to this, maybe you could add. Maybe we could talk about Nevada. And if Biden wins, well, I'll do a video on that later. I'll do a video on Biden's best path to victory. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Comment down below what you think Trump's best path to victory is and what you think Biden's best path to victory is. If you're new, and if you're brand new, like the video and subscribe. It helps me out, and you'll get notified of new election content. I am gonna start. I am uploading more. I'm gonna be uploading more again, considering I've had a lot of motivation to do YouTube recently. So, and also I've been feeling a lot more confident in 2024 than I was, a month ago. But anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one. Godspeed to all of you. Peace out.